Very good morning to you all. The title of my today's lecture is Bharatamuni on Natya and Rasa, the aesthetics of dramatic experience. Today in my lecture I will talk about the Nāṭya Śāstra written by Bharatamuni, and in that light I will also talk about what is exactly the Rasa and how Rasa acts as an aesthetics of dramatic experience. Okay, so this particular book Nāṭya Śāstra, which was written by the famous Bharatamuni, was compiled somewhere between 200 BC and 200 AD. So it's a very old book, and in this particular book we have 36 chapters and more than 6,000 poetic verses. And this entire book was written on the concept of performing arts. Okay, so in other way around, we can tell that this Nāṭya Śāstra is an encyclopedia of performing arts. Okay, it talks about dance, it talks about theatrical performances, it talks about dramas, it talks about other enactments. Okay, so it influenced music, dance, as well as the literary tradition in India. So why I am talking that it has influenced the literary tradition of India is because it not only explains the concept of dance theory, it talks about the poetic compositions and it shows a guideline of actual preparation of this kind of compositions. So in this particular book he has discussed the concept of rasa in the 6th chapter of this book, which is also known as Rasadhaya. What is rasa? Rasa is the emotion that comes out while watching a performance and which makes the audience relish the performance. This is called rasa, and it is often known as Rasa Sutra. Sutra means it's of limited letters. It's something which is very concrete, which provides which is not ambiguous, and it provides the essence. We have Sutra, the Sutra of Archimedes, it's kind of theorem. You can say it's a kind of theorem, just like Pythagoras theorem in mathematics. It's a kind of sutra, and it always applies to all the genre. Sutra is something which is very concrete, which provides essence and which is applicable to all the genre, and it can elaborate any kind of thing. Okay, so this is the concept of Rasa Sutra. As Bharatamuni pointed out, if rasa is not evoked through the dramatic performances, the performance fails to give any kind of meaningful message. Okay, so without rasa, the understanding of the particular performance is incomplete. Rasa can be compared with the aesthetic experiences. In my previous lecture I have talked about Aristotle's catharsis. Catharsis is an emotion which evokes pity and fear among the audiences. Watching the protagonist or die or suffer, there is a kind of pity which has been evoked among the audiences. Pity, why? Seeing the character struggle, and fear, why? Considering himself or herself in the same situation of the protagonist. So this kind of emotion is generated watching the classical tragedies. Okay, so this rasa also bears the similar concept of ideas, and which can be comparable with catharsis. So what it actually does, it relishes the experiences. The aesthetics is something which realizes the beauty in art, which enables us to realize the beauties in art, which something which makes us to relish or enjoy it. Okay. As Aristotle has already pointed out that the concept of mimesis, imitations of life, drama or the tragedies are the imitations of life. Same as been propounded by Bharatamuni earlier. He says Natya is the imitation of life and it always should be dramatically glorified. So that the audiences can experience the pleasure and pain portrayed in the drama. That is the main context of this kind of dramatization. Rasa, which we are going to talk now, is something in literature. Rasa means juice, essence. Okay, ras, which we actually a kind of extract which comes out from a particular fruit. Okay, there is a term called rasana. Rasana means the flavors which should be released, and accordingly there is bhava. Bhava means it's a kind of mental state. Bhav, we call it bhav. There is an entire chapter regarding bhava in his book Natyashastra. It's called Bhavadhaya, the 7th chapter of this book. Just like Rasadhaya in the 6th chapter, 7th chapter is Bhavadhyaya. So this rasa comes from vibhava, anubhava and vavichari bhava. Vibhava is the determinants which determines the things. Anubhava is the consequence which actually happens, and vavichari bhava are the fleeting emotions. So Bharatamuni says this aesthetic release can be attained only from mental perception by seeing the performances on the stage, and it cannot be achieved from realities. And all the performances, everyone is aware that a kind of performances is happening. Okay, so both the actors as well as the audience, they know that there is a performances taking places. So it enables them to extract the rasa from the performances. So Bharatamuni also defines bhava as the mental state, and according to him there are 8 bhavas, 8 sthayi bhavas. There are actually many bhavas. One is sthayi bhava. Sthayi bhava is the something which is stable emotions, like rati. Rati means love. Rati bhava. Then is hasa bhava. Hasa is mirth. There is shoka. Shoka is grief. There is krodha. Krodha means anger. Then there is utsaha. That is which we always portray heroism. And there is bhaya. Bhaya means fear. There is jugupsa. Jugupsa means disgust. There is bismaya. Bismaya is wonder. Bismaya. Okay. So anubhava. Anubhava is something which is the cause, and there is that is the main determinant. Okay, alambana and uddipana. Uddipana is something which comes from the external side, and alambana is the main determinant. Okay, so there is another bhava which is called vavichari bhava, which is also known as sanchari bhava. Why sanchari? It actually flits, the emotion flits from one person to another. There are many kinds of sanchari bhava like nirveda, glani, shanka, ashua, mada, alasya, chinta. These are all sanchari bhava. This is not the primary bhavas. This is actually a kind of byproduct. Okay, there is moho, there is smriti, there is nidra, sapna, maran, and we have to understand that all of them are not emotions. Some of them like Smriti or Sarma or Marana, these are not emotions. These are the state of minds which has been called as Vyavichari Bhava. Okay. So, if we study, we can understand that there are certain physical manifestations of intense emotions which comes out in our body languages. For example, there is something called stambha. It actually paralyzes. There is sveda. Sveda means like I am sweating here. The sweat can become an effect of many things. I can be fearful, I can be tired. Okay. So, sweat is actually the physical manifestation of my tiredness. Then there is romanka. Romanka means horripilation. Horripilation means, suppose you have seen a horror movie and all of your hairs has straight end up. Okay. So, it can be out of fear, it can be out of horror, it can be out of cold. So, these are physical manifestation of those horror. Then, Saraveda, change of voice. If I am very much fearful about something, my voice may shake. Okay. Then there is Vivarna. Vivarna means change of color. If I am very much horrified, the color of my face changes. Then there is another one which is called Pralaya. Pralaya means you faint. Seeing a disaster, you actually faint. So the disaster, the bhava, actually manifested in the act of fainting. Okay. So he has connected these bhavas with rasas. There are various rasas like Sringara. Sringara is love. Then there is Hasya. Hasya is the comic and the humor. Then there is Karuna Rasa. Karuna is the pathos, which we do Karuna to some other. There is a kind of pathos connection between the other person, and there is an emotion of pathos. Then there is Rudra Rasa, which is the horror and furious. There is Veera Rasa. Veera is something which is representative of heroism. There is Bhayanak Rasa. It's fear and disgust. Then there is Bibhatsa Rasa. Bibhatsa is the actual disgust. Then Adbhuta Rasa, which is the wonder. And apart from this 8 rasa, there is another one which is also called Santa Rasa, the calmness, the bliss of solitude. Okay, so he has tried to connect all these bhavas with the rasas. And what Bharatamuni has pointed out, that bhava and rasas had some essential connections. Because earlier we have talked about rati. Rati is the love. Rati bhava can be connected with the Sringar rasa. Hasa bhava can be connected with the Hasya rasa. Soka bhava can be connected with the Karuna rasa. Krodha bhava can be connected with the Rudra rasa. Utsaha bhava can be connected with the Bhira rasa. When Bhaya bhava can be connected with the Bhayanak rasa. There is Jugupsa bhava which can be connected with the Bibhatsa rasa. And there is Vismaya bhava which can be connected with the Adbhuta rasa. So, in this particular book of Nāṭya Śāstra, Bharatamuni has explained how these bhavas and rasas actually stimulates our aesthetic experiences, and he shows how this should be generated while seeing a kind of performances. Thank you.